Hello, welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining. Today, before we get into the code cards, we're going to again pull from this oracle deck here to see what totems want to step forward. In the pre-shuffle, I already peeked at the bottom. We have Elk Nobility showing its face. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. So let's see what wants to step forward while we set our energies and intentions to obtain some wisdom and guidance from the highest possible authority for the highest good of all regarding a matter of importance. All right, popping out, we have Wolf, Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others to find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Very good. So, by the strength of your ability to move fearlessly, courageously, in spite of fear, towards your goals, your endpoints, and also not stepping on others, but choosing to attempt at enlightenment and sharing knowledge and wisdom laterally with those around you, or even by virtue of just holding a specific resonance that doesn't need to be physically broadcast with voice, although it's awesome when we have that invitation or opportunity to do so. It's by holding that internal compass that no matter how the world shakes us, the gyroscope is able to resolve and reconcile the altitude, the aptitude, the unique stability necessary to navigate any shaky ground that you traverse. And in that way, you're unshakable. Even if you are delayed or distracted, ultimately you understand that you are on one, not singular, but on one main objective of that happiness, contentment, synergy, inclusion, versus the hierarchy. It's symbiotic, inclusive. So you're helping others to find their own way by your ability to be steadfast and undaunted in the face of challenges. And Fox, clever. We had a couple dog energy come out the other day. It was Coyote and Fox. So Fox, clever. You are swift and smart. Solutions to problems are easily found. Always listen to your instincts. Resources surround you. Be open to romance. And it doesn't need to be new romance for those who are in a stable, enduring love already. It's more of finding romance in the daily life. Oh, this is beautiful. I haven't seen this one yet. It has the absence of laser focus on one animal and shows the habitat in the background. Personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities within yourself. And within the situation too, I'm hearing. So I really enjoy that one coming out so that your own personal vision can step forward and speak with you during the course of this. And if you see any animals or if any others come forward during this reading, we'll take that one. then so be it. Soul time number 40. And maybe even during a portion of this broadcast, if you find that you need to pause and chew on one of the messages, unpack one of the statements, then that might be something relevant to you, where some additional information that's meant only for you wants to speak, but then I'm too busy moving on with the other messages. You can pause me, freeze me in space, and go into your own mental awareness. Interesting. So on the back of the deck, we have 26, empowerment, totem animals, and our vision to empower our own inner voice and inner wisdom. This can also be dream space. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this in today or not, but I'll speak just briefly about it now. I had an incredibly interesting dream last night where I didn't understand it at first, but I had stepped into the fairy realm, and if you've been following any of the broadcasts, fairy magic has been stepping forward relentlessly. And I mentioned a few weeks ago that I had lost 3 items. Now I've found 2 of them, thanks to one of my viewers also who helped me to find my graphing paper. I did find it in a place of importance. Thank you. There's this dream had many aspects where I'll try to tell you just the symbols that spoke most pronounced that I feel come into this reading, and take this as you will. The individual who I regard as the symbol for my wounding, the perpetrator of my suffering from an earlier time, invited me to go to this bar place to have a bite to eat. And in the dream, I was even thinking, why would I follow this guy? I don't even like this guy. And we go in there, he's busy doing other things, and I start taking in the environment. And as it progresses, I start to understand that there's this energy of everybody's trying to like draw me in and grasp to me and compliment me and draw me in. And then there was food put in front of me, and I started to take it. And then I thought, wait, where's my daughter? And then in the course of the dream, I couldn't find the exits. And then I couldn't find my daughter, and I see her, and she's in a younger form than is current. And then I start moving towards trying to find the exit again. And then I'm ushered upstairs into a waiting holding room that also doesn't have an exit. My daughter's gone again. And so then I find her, and she's kind of tucked in a closet in a pillowcase. It's so weird, right? And ultimately, I end up eventually finding my way out. Again, my daughter went missing 4 or 5 different times, and I'm not sure how the resolution really came to be. But what I'm drawing from that was, it was easy for me during the course of the other times where fairy magic showed itself to equate that to being lost in perhaps an unfulfilling relationship, or being lost in your comfort seeking, or addictions, comfort zone, or in a job where you thought that you were just there temporarily, and then you sit in that for a long time. And I've seen how this has influenced different situations in my past where I've stayed past a certain point, and the lessons that have come from both choosing to leave and choosing to stay, and how that's resulted in the now. But in this dream, I found it interesting that it was the individual from way back that holds that symbolic meaning as a figurehead for what's wrong, and how that now can figure into those various situations that I would think about. Do I stay or do I go now? That song that's been coming up for over a year or so, that's like that individual's, the veil, the shadow that they cast, still holding some sway and influence over our incoming decisions and our ability to both perceive new situations as fresh and innocent and unjaded by that influence or not. So take that as you will. But this dream, it seemed lucid, it seemed captivating, it seemed like I could have become lost in that and drank the Kool-Aid, so to speak, because then I was seeing all these people bellied up to the bar, and it was interesting. 2 or 3 different individuals I saw with their eyes were like not focused, looking in different directions, and the people in the holding room just watching TV. And then I found the way out. I'm like, here's the way out, and they're like, our show's on. You can't rescue everybody, but it's not for us to sit there and hold the door open and beg them to come when it's time to liberate ourselves. But there are those individuals that we do need to seek out and bring forth with us. You know, those people, the individuals, the beings in our charge, so to speak, because some, they don't know how to ask, but they're on board with the healing. What's under the deck? Consciousness. I like that one. Yeah, heart-based dynamic consciousness. That's interesting. We may look further in there. Let's get a couple more of these cards. I want to move into more decks today. Universal love. Empowering our ability to see what really truly matters and our personal value and the values that we hold, the passions that we hold, the skill sets and gifts that we're here to develop, and also the false power and the false light's ability to cast a shadow over our eyes, to create distraction, addiction, and unhealthy ties and tethers to anchors that don't serve. And so the ability for our dreams, our visions, our quest, our totem animals, loved ones, pets, the gifts and the healing potential that we hold and that others hold can empower us to utilize that time to reset and to look into these matters of universal love, to finally release and to cut anchor with any of that toxic anchoring, and to cleanse and purify the channels that are flowing to and from us. That feels well to leave it there. Divine Feminine at the end of this row here. So those of us that resonate with having some type of profound trauma or suffering, however harsh or healed this is coming through in this moment, I would venture to say that even if we are the feminine, even if we are empaths, that there is a certain amount of guardedness and defensiveness and fear that will keep us diverting our energy from re-engaging what we feared to be evidence of that previous situation. Our brains are hardwired in that primal instincts to avoid certain situations. And here with the Pathfinder and the Clever Fox, always listen to your instincts. But there's a card over here that says, but unless you've been really wounded, and then you need to really dive deeply into that. Your soul is strong. Your soul time is restorative, and perseverance is your secret power. And having that love that endures, it's like they couldn't break your purity. They couldn't destroy your shine and your brilliance. And moving beyond the hold of that shadow that's been cast over us is us activating our true gifts and surrendering the ego that says that we need to fight, and activating our magnetism, which will ultimately attract both good, bad, the indifferences, the ones in the middle somewhere along that spectrum, but with the brilliance and the cleverness and the instincts and intuition and the wisdom generated from that personal choice of being able to shapeshift in the moment. I am not a product of my suffering as much as I am a product of my light. My light also attracted those things to be able to hone and to direct my choice further in a very divine way. And as we surrender to not victimization and not believing there was something that we deserved out of that, or something that we made happen, it's more of being able to witness that now we can be more open because we are more powerful than ever in our wisdom and our instincts. Because we've been tempered correctly, we are now balanced in such a state that our ego doesn't need to come and rear its ugly head because we already know our capacity. I'll leave that there. A few more out of this deck. Solar plexus. Yes, the creative, courageous, inspired confidence that comes from knowing deeply how powerful our path has been into the development not of competition frequency, but compassion for self first and others because of our empathy. And remembrance. There's something coming back in, like with, as I indicated, that previous cycle for myself, it has cast a shadow across various situations, for good, bad, whatever. And I sense that my urge to find and rescue my daughter has more to do with the legacy of the inner child that influences our progeny, whether we have literal children or we have pets or plants or friends, family, other people in our lives. There's a way that our influence colors the interaction, obviously, right? And I want to read this one. Remembrance. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we've gone through as a soul in body and beyond, I would add, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. So we've received many tools from suffering, such as instincts, intuition, cleverness, strategy. And there's something about the fear reflex that's been coming up because we had fear less more than 5 times over the last week in a row. It's something about early experiences with trauma, victimization versus power and control dynamics shown to us, even if not against us. There's something here about utilizing our own courage and confidence to not be drawn down into that, but to enable ourselves to lift others up by the sheer resonance of our sustained vibrational person. And I will split this deck. Love it. Prosperity shows itself with our consciousness. So very valued level of consciousness coming in, and our gifts are tenfold when we can activate that by our personal choice and the utilization of our divine will. And that's taking our ego's will and melding that with that of spirit, rising our power up to strength of character in service to the all. And being able to move beyond the fear of exposure negative or positive attention. We'll take that one. That flipped. Innocence. The word has already come through, the purity and innocence. I'm going to put that between soul time, empowerment, and over solar plexus. Yeah, empowering the confidence through the reflection upon, which assists us, the remembrance, it assists our meditation to actually show ourselves how that tempering did not necessarily infect us, but it instilled in us the choice, our voice, our efforts, prayers, change of mind, return of spirit showing themselves, frequency shift, simplicity. Just want to grab off the bottom here. Immunity. The word infection that came out, their shadow that has infected our perception and our confidence and has had us responding on some level, however mischievously, whatever trickster energy has been operating, there has been an element of fearful avoidance and positioning ourselves strategically so as not to become exposed to that toxicity again. And if you have somebody on block, I am not suggesting to release the block. It's not about that. It's about no longer needing them or their healing to say that you didn't deserve that. Faith. The last time I saw this, I saw the golden snitch from Harry Potter. I'm seeing that again. Harry Potter references are coming out recently. It seems that your faith from a very early age, when you were innocent, when you were younger, that your faith was somehow very strong. Your connection with spirit, your prosperity was related to the ability of your prayerful connection with spirit. It empowered and bolstered your purity. And to tap back into this faith now helps you to really build those symbolic antibodies against that toxicity in the future. And it's like we no longer resonate with that. We no longer need to fear that because we've surpassed the lesson. Commitment. And it looks like a recommitment to healing yourself, a recommitment to some type of hobby or interest from an earlier time, perhaps, or a new commitment to something like that. It could even be romantic, whatever it is. Coming back to something with the fresh perspective and fresh eyes that says, I can see and hold myself accountable for where I may have been responding to things that were beyond the scope of the moment. And I can also forgive others for their participation in that process. And in so doing, it's like it shakes loose the undercurrent of dissonance within some type of situation or establishment. And so if you're recommitting to something, it could still be trial. I mean, we're in Mercury retrograde right now at the time of this broadcast. Use your intuition to guide you. Something about the stars at night, the consciousness. I like the way that remembrance, consciousness, and intuition here. Check these out, coming in a row. I don't know if you identify as being part of the blue ray or identify with Archangel Michael. There's something very intuitive about the way that you're praying and holding faith with whatever you do hold faith with. That's speaking through. There's that confidence card. I knew that was there. It's knowing that your innocence was probably partly what others were rebelling against and trying to hold you down or hold you back or anchor you down. It had more to do with their limits and their envy, jealousy, or resistance to growth. It was important for them to anchor you into toxicity, to prove to themselves that they were not worse than you, right? Somebody operating in that type of mindset. There it is. Fairy magic. I knew it was there. It's coming in to wake us up. It's a reawakening. It's a rejuvenation of our spirit, the return of spirit in its full force to illuminate from the inside out and to really recognize the commitment that we have to ourselves, to all that is, to show up, to man up or woman up, and to say, to set the record straight in some way, to take a stand and to declare what is right for us and how the story needs to be told about us from here on out, perhaps. Shifting the story, shifting the vibration, leveling up. And the fairy magic is allowing us to awaken and to shift our own self. It's like shape shifting that we talked about because of personal choice, because of our ability to envision and to embrace the qualities that we can imagine. And if we see another with something that we would like, or another doing something that we don't dare to indulge in, these choices are also here so that we can witness that it's not like somebody else is lucky and we are not. It's to say that those choices come with other ramifications and other things, right? And so at any point we can shift ourselves into a different experience. I just want to leave that one there. It's getting complex. That'll come up probably in a future message. And then union. I love the union card. We've been getting that quite a bit. I do believe that that's talking about our connection to our higher self here coming in. Prosperity and consciousness is where I want to put that one. So shifting our immunity, moving away from a harmful, hurtful circumstance, detoxing our vibrational resonance. And the union here is like, as that intuitive recommitment comes up, it's that the consciousness, the awareness that is unifying us with our power base. Yeah, okay. I want to get a couple other decks in the mix here. I think we're going to go with this deck. I only have a few more minutes here. I appreciate your attention and support in any way. And if you resonate with some of the messages, all of the messages, please do consider like, share, subscribe, all of those good things. Okay, that's quite a lot of cards. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read them all. Under the deck, we have the Warrior. I see the rainbow here. I don't know if there's some Tauruses in the house. I've got this golden ring at the third eye, and the snake representing the wisdom, the change, the shedding of the old skin, and the rainbow as the awakening of the chakra system that is what allows us to have a foot in both realms, so to speak. And we do have the fairy magic, of course, which is coming in. But as I mean, it's like understanding the magical potentialities, but also the realities, and how to, I'm hearing the word juxtaposition, how to operate without getting lost in either, without, yes, it's, being able to utilize that in the best way possible. I'll leave that there. Okay, so on the one side, we've got these two, the womb and the box. Incredible. So the divine feminine is perhaps going through a softening process of this surrender and embracing the magnetism, because as we are strong and empowered and advocating for our truth, honor, clarity, justice, wisdom, this is actually a softening process. The ability to increase our inner reserves and to leverage that allows the ego to soften and lets us come out of the limitations. So that Taurus energy here is going to be activated, as you may remember or may follow astrology, coming in with the solar eclipse in the next couple of days. And then after that, April 20th, 24, we have the connection of Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus. And right now, they're already within that closing sextile here between Pisces, Aries, and Taurus over there coming in. And it's like that breaking us out of the box, breaking through the defensiveness, the guardedness, and allowing our abundance to also be magnetized into our world. So here we have this stack showing like this with the vessel coming out of wounding, that shadow that's cast across the body here, reunifying with the depth of our own inner, the body's wisdom, the wisdom of soul in body on that card, the remembrance card. It's remembering who the hell we are. And then we have the ocean, which reminds me of the ocean in a drop, Rumi quote. And it's showing that we're being witnessed by spirit and assisted by spirit. We're being given some messages that are being incorporated. Oh, the orphan card. So from an early age, you may have felt on your own. Maybe there was an early death in your life, or felt like this was the death or abandonment or entrapment or control of your inner child and having to grow up fast, a fighter, a warrior. But now that warrior is being able to use compassion and empathy as its tools. Kairos, the divine timing is now for your intuition to rise up with your confidence and to use that. Here's the stone, talking about the slow generation and evolution, and the queen rising up to the throne with the moon there, and the snake wrapped around the hand, and this the flower here. So yeah, it's like rising up into our full potential is taking the respect given to the feminine in this situation, and not seeing her as an empty vessel, not seeing yourself as listless and apathetic, but seeing the abundance of the universes within every cell and every chakra that you possess. So take care of you, honor yourself greatly at this time. And unfortunately, we have to end there. So check back for other messages. They're all intended as timeless if you wish. And take care of you. We'll be back again soon, guys. Bye.